Nobody wants to get united. Like, what we gotta do is meet everybody on 149th Street at the bench.
Yo, welcome back to the bench, guys. Today I want to talk about a topic that Eat and Sleep went ahead and asked in a previous video that I thought was pretty interesting. They wanted to know my thoughts on the evolution of graffiti artists in general, and do I think graffiti artists should evolve? And let me know what you guys think about this topic, because if I'm being honest, I don't know where I stand 100% on this. Like, obviously, clearly, everyone needs to adapt to the landscape as it changes over the years, and it will and has already changed over the years. Right, like that much is obvious. But there are certain things that no, I don't think should be compromised on. One example I'll give is, like, we talked about it recently, the difference between like a writer and a graffiti artist. That is something that should definitively stay. If you don't do illegal graffiti, you are not a writer. Simple as that. So there are definitely certain things that I think should not change in graffiti, and I guess that's more me talking about graffiti in general as opposed to graffiti artists, which the question asked. So in regards to graffiti artists, yes, I think graffiti artists should definitely always be seeking to evolve and always be seeking to learn, right? Because, I mean, evolution comes from gaining more knowledge and becoming more intelligent about X, Y, and Z, whatever that thing is. And that adaptability is only ever a good thing for an individual. And the question becomes, what do you do at that point? Once you get to that point where you're ready to evolve, you're ready to move on, what do you end up doing at that point? And for some graffiti artists, you know, they find a different pleasure in the art form in general, and they enjoy a different aspect of it, and they're completely okay doing the legal side. And for others, you know, not so much. I do think it is important for a lot of graffiti artists in order to evolve stylistically, because the evolution stylistically more so is the gaining of, once again, more information. It's the gaining of knowledge and the gaining of an understanding for the art form you're partaking in. And rather, the stagnation of an individual style is more representative of the lack of continued learning, which is something you never want. That's not something that you want to experience. That's not something that's advisable. You do see a lot of older graffiti artists kind of stagnate in their style, and there are specific instances where this is a little bit more different, because these people not only have, number one, developed and honed that style, and they're more so exploring that specific style to its fullest degree, but also you have to look at the context of this whole entire situation, where many of these older school graffiti artists have literally paved the way for us to even have a style in the first place. And their stagnation of style may just be a disinterest either in the current styles, or B, an attachment to the aesthetic that they used to have back in the day, one that's no longer current, with like old school graffiti, for example. And I don't think it's necessary for those people to go ahead and necessarily stylistically evolve. While this isn't true for most graffiti artists, I did want to go ahead and address that a little bit, because that exception certainly does exist. For newer graffiti artists, for graffiti artists that have been doing it since like the 80s and 90s and 2000s, then yes, pretty much every single one of them should definitely be evolving with their style. We recently talked about how graffiti will evolve over time as well, and I think as graffiti artists learn more about just art in general, and they learn more about the art from specific fundamentals, they learn more about the elements of art and technique, and they stop taking advice from all these god-awful websites, then they will understand the science behind style. And style will become very, very easy for them. And I'm interested to see when that day comes. I really am. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this topic in the comments down below. Let's start a little bit of a conversation. And check it out, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. Join the smartest graffiti community. I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Peace.